Hrant Minassian Jarabet ilawapan Edvin Minassian vor sabare asiego.
Dr. Kulak, as usual, you have been the main force putting this together. This is the 12th year. Those of you may recall, when Hrant Dink was assassinated, we started with a big event, all Armenian organizations at Glendale Auditorium. And then we did an event at UCLA a month later, and we have been getting together. And as Dr. Kulak mentioned, for the last 5 years, we have also been recognizing those who follow, in our opinion, the path of Hrant Dink with the Hrant Dink Freedom and Medal. First, Sirpazarlar, clergy, public officials, guests, members, welcome to Bolsheim region. I will not speak too long because what I've learned over the 12 years, the main thing is for you to hear from our guests, for you to hear the presentations. You've heard from us a lot, but we will have I think, good chance to speak. You will see different formats of presentations. I also now want to recognize certain individuals. It's our duty, so please bear with me. We have with us former Primate Archbishop Vacek Ovsepian of the Western Diocese. Thank you. We also have Vera Badveli, former President Missionary Association. Did I say it right? Evangelical Union of Armenian Evangelical Union of the United States. Joe Matosyan, thank you for being here as well, as you always do. We have Hayr Dajat, representing Ovnan Derderyan, Primate Archbishop of the Western Diocese. We have Der Razmik, representing Prelate Archbishop Mushek Mardirosyan. We have Derabad Veli Dikran Shammian, also with us. We have Nora Hovsepian, Chair of ANCA Western Region. We have Miran Tumajan from the Armenian Assembly, Western Region. We have Jack Kayajian, who's a Bolsahai City Council candidate from Los Angeles, for 12 districts, which includes Porter Ranch and sort of those areas where a lot of Bolsahais live. So thank you for being here as well. I don't want to forget anybody, of course. I'm going to get to the last but not least, one of our own, Professor, former Mayor Frank Zelunya of Rolling Hills Estates, and Professor of Public Policy at the University of Southern California. Thank you for being with us. Of course, we have our guests. I'll introduce them to you later. If I missed any organization or Ed, I apologize. Dervaçarebetyan ինքը գարձան էջմիազինեն նոր է գազել, չէ՞։ 3 տարի է մեզի։ So եւ ինքը մեր այսօր Մոնտեվերլո Monument Hrant Dink-ին շադագույրինք, որ մեզի հետ ոնհավես շաշնարական եմ ցեզի։ Dr. Rafi Balyan is apparently here. He's the chairman of the Ramgabar Party, Western Region. I see Baron Moloyan here from the Inchakzagan Party. Thank you very much for being with us as well. I missed anyone else? I apologize. We usually ask protocol to sit, but some of them, I don't know, they choose to sit in the back. So 12 years. All I'm going to say is. GPS signal lost. of many, 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 many people who are murdered in Turkey. Political activists, journalists, academicians, thought leaders. Turkey has a long history of unsolved murders, unsolved assassinations. Of all of those, Uğur Mumcu and the rest, great people. The only one who is remembered each year with a big event, both in Istanbul, rest of Turkey, Europe, US, and the rest of the world, is Hrant Dink. And, I just pose it as a question, I wonder why. I mean, he's singled out for that kind of memory, for that kind of resolve. Of course, the court hearings keep going on. The list of the accused get added on, subtracted, some get charged, and blames shift all around. And as I've said many, many times on this podium before, probably it's because almost everybody was in it. And that's why it is a blame game within the deep state and maybe the shallow state too, in all aspects of Turkey. My good friend, Honorable Zaven Sinanyan from the Superior Court of the State of California is also here, so welcome, Judge. And then Turkey, and I'm going to discuss, you'll see during our dialogue at Haykobadat, as you see in the topic is, what was Turkey like before Hrant Dink was assassinated? What was it like in the aftermath? And what is it like today? And if there's a difference between the aftermath and today, Diyarbakir and the whole region, a lot of places that Hrant Dink cared about are devastated. Like I said, the court hearings don't stop. There's a big increase in the amount of intolerance against academicians or anybody who expresses thought. So there's not much good news to give to Hrant Dink if he were here today. Except for, I remember we always talked when he was here, he cared also a lot about Armenia. And I think the one good news is there. I would have loved to see his face if he heard that Armenia was upgraded from semi-free state by international organizations to a free state in the recent polling data. And he would be, I think, very happy that the Armenian people got to express their will at the ballot in a basically free and fair election. So that's the only good news that I would have loved to give him. With that, like I said, I'm going to let you hear from our speakers today. I hope you all have a booklet, and in your booklet there are biographies. So I don't want to take too much time and read them for you, but I will, of course, say a few things. Our main guest of honor today, who is going to be the recipient of the medal of Hrant Dink, is a man who has multi-faceted participation in the lives of his fellow citizens, first of all, humanity, and the Armenian nation. He's an architect, he's a writer, author, researcher. He's someone who's faced the worst. He has spent 6 years in Turkish prisons following the military takeover in 1980s, early 1980s. And he always fights in his own quiet way, in his stubborn way, but in his correct way, for justice, for doing the right thing, and for his people, for the memory of his grandparents and grandmothers, and for all of us. So that is, and you will hear more about him. I will let him speak for himself and you make your judgment call. But therefore, there was no question on our board. There was a unanimous decision to present the Hrant Dink Freedom Medal to Zakaria Milanoğlu. So I would like to invite him to the podium, please. To join me, as we always do, I would like to invite Dr. Kulak. I would like to invite our Executive Committee President, Dr. Mark Kosker, and of course former presidents who are present. No. Avedis Tekolian is coming. Paron Simon Acilacoğlu, I know he's here. Dr. Ersana Özçe. And Aram Akbarik Özçe. Anybody else who's a former president? I know there isn't, but... Nahtir Adana Betleri Gançem. So, Guzemur... Poduma çıkar. Okay, tut. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's it. Okay. It's our usual medal. It says Hrant Dink, Spirit of Freedom and Justice Medal by the Organization of Istanbul Armenians, 2019. And in the back, Zakarya Muldanoğlu, 2019. So, next part of all, congratulations.
And the guy.
Okay.
Good eye.
All right.
One, two. You lost mine. Medal destan. Yes, thank you. Very nice. You are Doctor. One, two. One more. Beautiful. I got it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Tebrik ederim. Congratulations.